Hello, guys. Welcome to the Daily Nightcap. This has been a fantastic day's racing, and it's over day one of the Cheltenham Festival, and it was all about the ladies' day, all about the girls. History was made. 11 from 11 victories for Honeysuckle and Rachel Blackmore, the first jockey to win a championship race. So absolutely fascinating stuff. It's been so good. It's been very windy here, but it's been absolutely lovely. Obviously, no crowd, which is a disappointment. And I'm happy to say I've got my second guest of the nightcap, my first guest of the night, and my only guest, actually, Katie Walsh. Good to join you.
Hey, Chris, how you doing?
I'm very well. Where in the world are you? You look like you could be situated anywhere with that globe or that map behind you.
I can be anywhere. I can travel. If I want to go a bit of skiing, I can go a little bit that way. And if I want to go a bit of sun, I can go a little bit this way. So this is as close as I'm going to get to a holiday. So
bless you. How you been anyway? How's life?
Yeah, really good. Obviously disappointed not to be in Cheltenham, but obviously it's brilliant, first of all, that it's going ahead, that it's happening. But yeah, disappointed not to be there. It's been a very different year for everybody. But I think we're all mucking together quite well and trying to put our best foot forward and hopefully leave COVID-19 behind us sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I think that's always important. Keep ploughing on. Where in the world are you? I imagine you're back home in Ireland.
I'm back home in Ireland, yeah. So I'm in, back home in Ireland. So obviously didn't travel to Cheltenham this year, like a host lot more. It's actually my first year not going to Cheltenham since 97. So, first year to miss it. But hopefully we'll be back up and going next year.
Yeah, that's a bit of a kick in the teeth, isn't it, not being able to be here? It must hurt. You must watch the coverage and think, what I do to be there.
Oh, totally. It's not the same. But, listen, it isn't by choice either. And it's something that we all have to do. I think obviously It's brilliant that everyone has worked so hard to make it happen between the Jockey Club and between the IHRB. It's very important that we have this. So it's great that everyone's working together and for it to happen. It's totally different watching it on TV. Yet again, you probably see so much more to an extent that maybe you don't see when you're at the track because, you're kind of walking from one place to another to try and maybe watch a race in a different place. And then someone else has an opinion about what happened. And was really, when you watch it on TV, you really don't miss a trick. The camera work is brilliant and the analysis of the races is good too. So enjoying it.
Good. That's what we try to do on these channels, is break it down so you can enjoy it as best you can. And from a personal point of view, I mean, Cheltenham has been a good hunting ground for you, really. 2010, I believe, the Cheltenham Festival. Was that your first Cheltenham Festival victory aboard a Poker de Savola, am I right in saying?
Yes, Poker de Savola 2010, Ferdy Murphy.
1,000 stars the same year as well.
1,000 stars on the Friday, in the county hurdles. So it was a very special year considering going over. I didn't think I had any ride in Cheltenham. I barely brought my bag with me. So that was really special. I was going over anyway, as I would do to help out with Willie and whatnot. And the phone rang on the Sunday evening going over, and Ferdy Murphy rang me and said, would you like to ride Poker de Savola in the 4 mile? Sure, naturally enough, I was, absolutely, Ferdy. I said, I'd love to. So sat up, and I'm actually down at the track on the Tuesday morning, and then the 4 mile was on the Wednesday. And he won. It was brilliant because Chris, it's something thought it would never happen, and 2 guys today rode their first winners in Cheltenham, Sean Flanagan and Ryan Mannion as well. You know what I mean? So there's 2 fellas who rode their first Cheltenham winners. It's something that every jockey aspires to do. So
it's the pinnacle, isn't it? It's life changing. It's something, you're going to remember forever. It's something you can look back on, especially like when you watch the Cheltenham Festival, you see all these races like the National Hunt Chase today, obviously a race you won, the County Hurdle. But it was only a couple of years ago you won the Champion Bumper as well. Yeah,
Relegate. That was really special. As an amateur, obviously it's the last race in the card here in Ireland, and it's dedicated to amateur riders. So it's different in England. Obviously the professionals can ride in it. But as an amateur, it was a race that I really wanted to win. So I'd ridden in it a good few years. God, Willie gave me some great opportunities over the years, and I'd loads of Cheltenham rides. Extremely lucky. So to ride a winner of the bumper was for Paul McKeown as well. That was extra special to get up on the line.
Well, before we move on and before we reflect on the racing, obviously you'll see with some of the footage we got today, we've got some great shots of just the horses coming down the chute, coming back in, and obviously there's being no crowds here. What is that feeling like riding a festival winner with the crowd here? Because obviously we haven't got that, unfortunately, this year due to obviously all the circumstances. But go on, just try and sum up that feeling of coming back in, or even just crossing the winning post in front.
It's very strange. It's very special. It's because it's something that, fair enough, there's guys who set out there this week and they are going to ride a couple of Cheltenham winners because that's the position that they're in. But to ride your first Cheltenham winner is very, very, you feel very privileged, and you cross the line. And first of all, it's that realization that, oh my God, has this just happened? Like, and then yes, it has happened. Everyone's patting you on the back or slapping you on the back and saying, well done. And then you're walking back down the chute. And I must say, the racing people, they're great to get behind, and they're great supporters, and they really get that atmosphere going, and you feed off them. You know, everyone's saying well done to you, and it's lovely. It's extremely special. Like, where do you get, like, okay, fair enough, maybe they're not all roaring at you, maybe they're not all saying well done, but you feel it when you're walking back down that every single person in that stand is looking at you. You know, it's very, very special. Where do you get a couple of 100,000 people looking down at you? You know, and then you're around the corner and you meet whoever's leading the horse up or whoever rides them out every day, and most of the time they're crying, and because they're over the moon, delighted with their horse. And then you round the corner walking into the parade room behind you, and it's a coliseum. It's just a sea of people looking down upon you, and you just walk on. You walk into that winner's circle, and you feel like you're on stage. You know, it's very special, and money can't buy it. You know, and it's really is. It's like standing up. The closest you could compare it would be to stand up on the number one to get like a gold medal at the Olympics, you know, or sticking the ball in the back of the net of a massive final, you know what I mean? And and that, like, and everyone looking at you and roaring, that exhilaration, you know, it's just like a rush of blood. It's unbelievable.
Unfortunately, I don't know those feelings, but I'll leave those feelings to you because you've obviously been there and you've managed to appreciate it.
Well, you might someday, as an owner, it's the same feeling as an owner.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Well, I was looking to be a part of, obviously, Annie Mack on Friday, but she's a non-runner now in the Mayor's Chase, so a little bit gutted about that. But let's talk about the racing. But before we sum up, you know, all the action ahead of today, let's show some footage of the amazing moment Rachel Blackmore won on Honeysuckle earlier.
So Sleepy is behind those. They've got two to jump from here in the Unibet Champion Hurdle, and it's Aspire Tower who's just the leader to Honeysuckle, who's alongside now. Then Silver Streak, Epatante within striking distance, and Sharjah also moving through into fifth position. Soldier heads the remainder, but now Honeysuckle moves into the home straight with a 2-length lead to Aspire Tower in second. Sharjah has moved into third. Epatante is behind those in fourth, but Honeysuckle is galloping clear as she races towards the last. A lovely leap. She cleared it safely and heads up the hill now. Honeysuckle and Rachel Blackmore clear from Sharjah. Epatante behind those. It's a beautiful straight. 11 victories for Honeysuckle. She is the winner of the Unibet Champion Hurdle.
Look at these scenes here. I mean, these are our Irish friends giving her a lovely reception. I mean, and the sister, I believe. This is just amazing scenes. You know, you couldn't picture that, especially a few years ago or even a year ago when we didn't know the outcome of this, but absolutely amazing scenes there. And what a race, what a victory. And you must know Rachel quite well, Katie.
Yeah, I do. You know, actually that shot coming back down, the first girl is actually Jennifer Pugh, who's the leading medical officer here in Ireland, and the second girl is a girl called Barbara White, and the last girl was my sister Jennifer, and they're all over there working for the IHRB, you know, with COVID and doing a big job over there. So
amazing.
They know Rachel really, really well, and I think they were delighted to be able to give her some sort of a reception coming back down.
But the Irish, you've come together to give her a reception. I love it.
Well, nothing. She deserves every single bit of it. Yeah, I know Rachel well. She obviously came into the weigh room a couple of years after myself and Nina. She rode as an amateur for a few years, and then she made a decision to turn professional because it wasn't happening for her as an amateur, and it's the best decision she ever made. She's a very hard-working, unassuming, modest, hard as nails girl, and she worked really, really hard, and she deserves every bit of success she gets. I mean, I spoke to her after racing today, and I said, like it or like it not, I said, whatever you might say, I said, that's history, what you're just after doing.
Yeah.
And she knows that too. You know, this is a great industry that we work in, and there's some great opportunities out there. And for her to be able to do that on a level playing field is very special. But back to the race, I thought it was absolutely brilliant. It went great for her. I knew she was going to line up a bit wide on her and give her a chance. She did the same with the Dublin Racing Festival to make that decision. There was plenty of chat. There was going to be loads of pace, but she didn't have to kind of get cover on her. She's a great ride. She's very straightforward. Yeah. And I'm sure she didn't want to be in a position that if they maybe weren't going fast enough for her, that she couldn't move forward herself. So she lined her up a bit wide, but she jumped super, and she has jumped great today especially, and the last day, a lot slicker than what she has been. And that has been a question mark over maybe the last season, was did she maybe jump them a bit deliberate and a bit slow and a bit like fences? Definitely not today, and definitely not at the Dublin Racing Festival. It was unbelievable. She moved down motionally. Well, down the hill for a stride, I thought maybe she was going as fast as she wanted to be going, but the back of the second last, she just picked them up round the bend, gave her a squeeze. And then again, we all know she stays so well. It was only a case of getting out over the back of the last. I mean, it went absolutely perfect for her. And, you know, I can only speaking for I know all the women in the weigh room here and all the lads would be only absolutely over the moon for her. You know, she really is she's a great girl.
Yeah, she's top class. Like you say, a top class mare as well. Just angled Honeysuckle out and let her do her thing. But I think what was really interesting, there was a quote from Rachel Blackmore, just basically saying, you know, she's a jockey, and that's the beauty. You know, as much as anyone, you all compete. There's the quote there. It doesn't matter what you are. We're all jockeys, and you know what I mean? It's a level playing field, and she shows that, and you have as well in the past. You're all world class at what you do, and I think that's so important to remember. You know, aside, it's amazing. It's history, like you say, but you're so talented.
Yeah, but I suppose also we're very lucky to have the opportunity to be able to show it and to be able to do it. First of all, as you know, Chris, we'd be nowhere without the horses, you know, and we need them. But they are the decisions that we make on their back, that are the winning and losing of a lot of races. Yeah, we're very privileged to be able to do it on a level playing field, and that's what makes this industry so special. You can say what you like, and Katie Taylor's a fabulous boxer, but she's boxing against women. I mean, that's not her fault. And I don't know if she wants to box against the men. I'm not even going down that road. But I'm just saying that there's no other sport that you get the opportunity, professional sport, that you can go out there and line up with the lads. And that's just the way that it is. So we really are in a very lucky and privileged position to be able to do that, and to be respected by everybody to be able to do it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's credit to horse racing. And every time I see Honeysuckle, I mean, she's such a beautiful mare. Every time I see it, I can't help but think back to the point-to-point day. She was the mare that beat Annie Mack at a point-to-point. That's going back a few years now to Ireland, but I mean, this is where these good mares come from, out of Irish point-to-points. And I mean, it's great to have the connection, of course, from a personal point of view. But looking ahead to the other racing of the day, what else stood out for you? What your other favourite moments from the first day at the festival?
I thought Appreciate It was very good. I must say, I thought what made that race was the horse that made the running. Was it Not for Pleasure? Is that his name? Me for Pleasure?
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, I'd say Paul Townend was delighted.
Went some gallop, yeah.
Yeah, you know, and that really played into his favour, and it played into Appreciate It's favour, because they knew that he can do it from the front, but he's definitely better with a lead. So he was just top class today. I thought he was exceptional. I thought Jack Kennedy gave Galvin a super ride in the form.
Oh, absolutely. Just shut him off with a bit of cover. Absolutely inch perfect, yeah.
Absolute peach. I must have thought. I thought, going back to have a look at that was maybe the ride of the day from a technical point of view, from decisions that he made and what he did, and the confidence to sit. I thought that was an absolute peach. I thought Siskin was class, wasn't he? You know, the two horses went a real good gallop in front. Captain Guinness and All Mankind, you know, they jumped super for novices. Yes, they probably did too much, the pair of them. But I mean, Siskin picked them up and away with them, and he fairly put it to bed. 12-length winner, not getting a hard race. Vintage Clouds, 11 years of age, you know.
Oh, amazing story.
Yeah.
But this is what the festival does. Like, there's so many great stories. I mean, we've had one day of 4 and already we got, you know, such great stories, so many great rides. I completely agree with you. Galvin was absolutely tremendous. I think you could have picked him as a winner of Circuit Out. I think the way he was just tucked up, the way he jumped was so beautiful. And even Harry Cobden, I know it's great for obviously the Tizzards to get second in the Arkle, Eldorado Allen. That, I mean, he rode an absolute peach end because you can get into a real tussle, you know, that up front especially. Like the two, the Scout and Horse and the other one going head to head, they were kind of boxing each other, what made it perfect for Shishkin. And just discussing Shishkin, I caught up and I had a good chat with Nico de Boinville after the race before he went home. It was very windy and it was very sunny, so just bear with us for this footage, but it's a good discussion I had earlier. Nico, thank you for joining me. Very kind of you. What a day. Shishkin, Arkle, Summit.
It's been fantastic. The sun's been out, which is a nice change for, you know, we both live in the Cotswolds and it hasn't been so sunny. But no, it's been a lovely day and we went very, very quick in the Arkle, but it was a fabulous run from him.
Oh, absolutely fantastic. I imagine now, next year, you've got to be thinking ahead. Queen Mother, potentially?
Well, we got a few. I'm sure we'll try and run them again this year, and then we'll see, and fingers crossed, you know, these horses can be fragile, so let's hope that we get to next year in one piece and he has a clean run of things.
I remember it would have been a couple of years now when we were all out having food, me, you, Richie, Aidan, as we do, obviously when we get together when we can. You mentioned to me back then how much of an absolute rocket Shishkin was, so yeah. I mean, he's obviously an absolute favourite. It's got to be one of the best you've ridden.
After that today, he's right up there. I mean, we have gone a really solid gallop all the way. Even Harry came in and said, "God, we went some clip there." Yeah. There was no margin for error. So yeah, he's bang up there, and he deserves to be spoken in the same breath as your Altiors and your sprinters.
100%. Yeah, you can see they went some clip when obviously Eldorado Allen's staying on for a second, but yeah, absolutely smashed in. What's it like? Just try and sum it up for everybody at home, all the viewers who'll be listening tonight. Coming in to no crowd. I know it can be quite easy to imagine, but as a jockey, it must feel strange. I know you've probably been asked this a million times.
Yeah, it is strange because usually, and what makes the festival so amazing is that the crowds can get so close to you. Yeah. And even going down the horse walk, they're literally on top of you. And it's the good thing about this is that the crowds and the public get to see the jockeys and the horses up close and personal. Yeah. You know, we're walking around. You know, anyone can come up to us, and it's really for everyone. You know, everyone can get involved, as it were. Yeah. So it is strange, but we know that everyone's watching on TV as well, and there's a big following at home. So I like to think some of us are playing up to it and enjoying it as well. Yeah, 100% Sen. And then obviously the big one, you must be buzzing to ride Champ. It's coming there with a phenomenal chance. A seriously good horse, jumping improved. I mean, is he flying at home? He seems to be doing everything really well. You know, Barry gave him a great ride in the RSA last year, and you know, fortunately after Barry's retirement, I've come in for the ride. It was a bit of a unique prep for him, and you know, it could turn out to be a masterstroke of the Governor's. Yeah. But you know, this is why we're jockeys, really. You want to pick up the big rides on the big days, and I don't think it comes much bigger than Champ in the Gold Cup. It's a great Gold Cup as well. Obviously, off recent years, I mean, this is very competitive. It's wide open. I mean, you can stake a claim for many horses in here, but yeah, Champ would be certainly one where, of course, obviously AP have loved to see him win as well. Exactly. Nico, a few things just behind the scenes. What's the weighing room like? Obviously, it's situated in different places because of COVID and all the regulations. Is there still a good crack in the weighing room at the moment? Definitely. Once the first race gets underway, everyone just seems to settle down and relax into it a bit. We're isolated from the Irish jockeys, so we only get to see them when we're down at the start, and we can have a bit of a chat with them there. Catch up. But but it's good fun in there. I changed next to Sammy Twiston. So you've got to be one of your best mates in the weighing room, Sammy. You have a few. Yeah, we all get on really well, which is great. There's a great camaraderie in the weighing room, and I changed. Dickie Johnson's just opposite me, so I'm in a nice bit of a corner, and the valets are looking after me very well. Good man. And what's the plan tonight? Obviously, you'll be popping home in a minute. We got an early start tomorrow. You're going to ride out in the morning, you're just going to take it easy, get to the race course? No, the boss has given me the morning off. I've been in there every day this week, so morning off tomorrow, probably get my daughter up and you know, have a bit of daddy time with her. So what's a typical evening for you look like, especially the week of the festival? Is it just about relaxing, getting enough sleep? it's
refueling.
Yeah, it's incredibly dull, I'm afraid, Chris. I'd love to say I'd be out on the town till 1 o'clock, but
Can you have
unfortunately not.
You riding light tomorrow? You can have a big meal tonight.
Yeah, well, I'm naturally light anyway.
You are.
So
There's
no
nothing
problem.
to you. You're very
So
fortunate.
I can eat and do what I want. So
Yeah,
that's
bless
great.
you. No, good lad. I wish you all the best.
It's a 5-length lead for Shishkin and Nico de Boinville at the second last. Got over it well. All Mankind in second, and then Captain Guinness in third. Eldorado Island behind him in fourth. The last fence, Shishkin at the final fence, pings it. He's clear. He's 10 lengths ahead from All Mankind in second. Captain Guinness bravely running on in third. Eldorado Allen is catching him, but he's sauntering home. Shishkin, easy as he likes. He's hard on the bridle here with Nico de Boinville. Shishkin has won the Sporting Life Arkle in magnificent style. Eldorado Allen has grabbed second.
Well done, Nico. Well done.
And then,
well done. Amazing. Well done.
Look at that. Just one murmur from the crowd as Nico walks down the shooting. A very subdued, empty parade ring. It's just so different. That's just us trying to show you guys at home what it was like being at the racecourse today. It's just so different. But I know who'll be very happy is this little teddy bear, because the Donnellys who own Shishkin have donated very kindly £10,000 to Wild Child. It's an amazing charity. They do so much great work. And yeah, this little fella will be happy. I'm sure he'll be drinking the Glenfarclas later, no doubt, just to celebrate. But yeah, great work from those guys. So it's highly appreciated. I'm sure the charity are extremely happy. Now, before me and Katie get chatting again, Barry was with me yesterday, Barry Geraghty, and here is his best bits.
Hi, I'm Barry Geraghty, and it's time for my best bits of day one. There can only be one winner, Rachel Blackmore and Honeysuckle. What a result. We're all set for another cracking day's action tomorrow, with Chacun Pour Soi taking centre stage for me. Cheers, Chris.
Man, yeah, now we're going to do something fun, Katie. I'm going to do a little quick fire question with you, okay?
And if I get it right,
Yep.
you have to drink that Glenfarclas.
Is that the hey, there's a fair drop in there. I filled it up so we could get it in shot in the camera. I'm not sure.
Did you ever taste it?
But the beauty of this, in my respect, is there's no right or wrong answer, so I can't actually determine if you've got it right or not.
But I think you have to drink it anyway.
I might drink it. All right, maybe at the end of the night I'll swill it down. Actually, I can't. I've got to drive home, so I have an excuse.
Oh well.
Let's have a little. Let's have a little bit of fun. Right, you ready for this?
Go for it.
Okay, so favorite TV show
Of all time.
Anything you want. I didn't want such a long pause.
I'm watching Your Honor at the minute, and it's brilliant.
Oh, really? Okay, this was meant to be quick, but have you watched Bridgetown? Bridgerton?
Oh,
No,
I don't
everyone's
know.
been
I
watching
kind
that.
of watch it with one hand over my
okay.
face. It's a bit too much. Come on.
Oh, is it? Okay,
Do you not think? Do you not think it's a bit?
Mate, all I know is I was about to say every woman in my life. I mean, my mum and my sister-in-law, they all watch it. So yeah.
It's definitely a show you wouldn't be watching with your mother. That I can guarantee you.
No, yeah, I have. Well, let's move on. Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Oh, yeah. Good girl. I agree. Marmite, yes or no?
No.
A desert island, right? So your last meal before you go to a desert island.
Roast lamb, veggies.
Oh, absolute shout. Do you have, by the way, do you have mint sauce or mint jelly?
Mint jelly.
Mint jelly.
Absolutely.
This, I think, is I think this is a locational, geographical thing, because a lot of my friends in England don't even know what mint jelly is.
Well, they haven't lived. They haven't lived.
No, I agree. The way it just melts into the gravy is fantastic. Right, and talking of a desert island, if you had to take one of these three people with you, who would it be? Ted, Ruby, or Jen? The siblings. Come on.
I'd bring Ted.
Oh, you bring Ted, okay. For any reason?
Because we have a chance of surviving if we had Ted.
Oh, is that say the other two are useless? I see what you're doing there.
I wouldn't bring Ruby. He'd be miserable and no crack. And Jennifer would be good too. It's a toss.
Yeah. Okay. No, that was it. Those are the questions up. Now we're gonna get back to the racing and focus on that. An update on the ground just for everybody. I've spoken with Simon Claes. The ground update, after the 5th race today, it went good to soft in places. It's expected to be dry tomorrow. It was drying all day today. The sun was absolutely beaming down here at Cheltenham Festival. The wind was up. And I mean, it was still pretty soft after the first few races, but it was drying out. So good to soft in places. Now let's turn our attentions, Katie, to the Betway Champion Chase. You're a Betway ambassador. This is, this is going to be a great race. Before we start, let's have a look at the odds-on slide for tomorrow's big race, just so our viewers know the current prices of the horses.
Hello everyone, it's Chad Jomans from Betway here. I hope you're all well and looking forward to day 2 of the Cheltenham Festival and of course the feature race of the day, the Betway Queen Mother Champion Chase. We're delighted to be sponsoring the race for the 7th year in a row, and as today we've sponsored over 3,750 races in the UK and Ireland, making us the biggest active sponsor in horse racing. This year's renewal of the Betway Queen Mother Champion Chase looks fascinating with the red hot Chacun Pour Soi odds on favourite at the moment, and it's the horse they all have to beat for trainer Willie Mullins, who amazingly has never won the Betway Queen Mother Champion Chase. Don't forget, you can all play our free-to-play game 4 to Win. It's simple. Pick 4 winners of the 4 selected races each day to win the 25 grand jackpot. What a Cheltenham to remember that would be. For our £20 challenge, I'm going for £10 win on Willie Mullins' other runner, Keyless Emery, and £5 each way on the mare, Put the Kettle On, for trainer Henry de Bromhead. Good luck all, stay well, and good luck this week.
Yeah, Keyless Emery's actually been backed in 25s into around 12 to 1, but Chacun Pour Soi. Now, Katie, I know your brother is extremely shrewd on this horse, thinks it's an absolute beast. Can anything else win this tomorrow?
I was a bit skeptical maybe of Chacun Pour Soi over the last maybe couple of years, and then he came to the Dublin Racing Festival and he was just exceptional. Yeah. No book went a really good gallop along with Fracas du Dari, and everyone thought that he was winning his races mid-races, and these 2 horses went a really good gallop and dragged him along every step of the way. He came off the bridle, he jumped super, but actually the further he went, the better he went. Yeah. And actually at the back of the second last, by the time they turned down to the last, he was absolutely hacking. Wing the Last, which was out at Christmas time, and I thought it was last 150 yards of Christmas wasn't super. With the last fence being out, Paul said he just eyed a bit, but I was still a bit, I'm not sure. But at the Dublin Racing Festival, he was unbelievable. Went down to the last, winged it, gave him a squeeze, hand and heels away with him. After that performance, I was sold. I thought that was a brilliant performance, and I thought whatever lines up is going to have to try and pass him. But looking at it, Put the Kettle On operates around here. We know that. I don't think anything can beat Chacun Pour Soi. It's the same horse turns up, was at the Dublin Racing Festival. Chad Yeoming's robbed my tip. I tipped Celius Emery. I thought he was super in Nace. I'm only messing with Chad. He was super in Nace the last day, and he was a very good horse. He was 4th in the champion hurdle. You know, has been a bit maybe caught up with a couple of injuries along the way and hasn't had the best run of it. But I think ridden by Brian Cooper, I'm not saying that he'll be Chacun Pour Soi, but for some reason he doesn't turn up. I think he's a huge each-way price. Okay,
yeah, well that's probably where the money's come then. It must be you doing a bit of work last night.
Definitely not. Oh, I'm clever than that.
Yeah, well, there's another interesting horse in the race. The Scouten runner, Nube Negra. Obviously, that was an impressive winner, beating Altior, of course, at Kempton. That could stake a claim. Like you say, Put the Kettle On. The mare's claiming £7. Well, she'll have £7 off her back, which obviously always helps. And 3 from 3 from the track. So it's going to be a great race. It's going to be very interesting. You've summed it up very well, Katie, to be honest. And let's look ahead to another race. Our sponsor, Glenfarclas, the cross country. They've sponsored this race for 10 years. Easy's Lands is your 5 to 6 favourite. I mean, the softer, the better the ground for that horse there. But can Tiger Roll produce some magic?
I think he's going to have to. I think he has the right fella aboard. I don't think he's lost his enthusiasm. He was very enthusiastic. In fact, probably too enthusiastic in Navan the last day. They didn't go much of a gallop. He was too keen. He was too free. It turned into a bit of a sprint and he blew up. You know, he's not really that type of a horse. And I would say came on. He didn't lack enthusiasm in Navan. He just got very tired. He's going to want to come on leaps and bounds to operate around here. I mean, he wasn't good enough last year for Easy Land, who was a really impressive winner. I think Easy Land is going to be the one they're all going to have to beat. I think if Tiger is fit enough, and if he bounced out of Navan well enough and they were still able to get stuck into him and keep going, it's not enthusiasm that won't get him beat anyway. It just depends on whether I think he's forward enough for it. Some neck obviously won round here before for John McConnell, but I think they're all going to struggle to get past Easy Land. I thought he was very impressive last year, and different jockey this year, ridden by Felix de Giles. He comes here in good form anyway.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. Well summed up. And we've done this every week. We've asked our guest. I'll say we've done it every week. We've done it every day. We only have 1 week of Cheltenham.
I was about to say,
our guest, oh my God. I mean, you must have been sleeping for a while. But Josh Stacey last night, we had his selection. We're going to do, we've got a guest challenge. We want to know your bet of the week. And if it comes in, if you are the top guest, which I know you know a lot about racing, we'll be sending out a bottle of Glenfarclas for you. So what's your bet of the week? You have 3 days to go at.
Does it matter what price it is?
Absolutely not. You can give me a fours on shot if you need to.
I think Monkfish is an absolute certainty.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's happy that you clearly you want to receive the drink then.
I want to see you knock back the glasses on the table. By Friday evening, I'll be watching this. And if that
right, you want that bit to have gone? Okay. If you were here, I would have
Yeah, right.
Half each.
Yeah, right. I think
being COVID, we can't drink from the same glass. So
say that, yeah.
That wouldn't be happening. On that note, I want to thank you very, very much for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure. And I hope you've had fun.
No, Chris, thank you very much. That was great fun. Flew by.
And I will raise my glass and say thank you guys for viewing. It's been excellent. We've also got, before we go, let's look at the slides for the leading trainer and jockey currently. It stands, one apiece down the board. Willie Mullins and Henry de Bromhead, the two market leaders in terms of the odds for the leading trainer. And the leading jockey, Jack Kennedy 2, Paul Townend, Rachel Blackmore, and Nico and Ryan Manny are after that. And then 5-2 to the Irish. Katie, 5-2 to the Irish. It's about right, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, we're absolute certainties when you think of it. When you look at tomorrow's card, Thursday's card, Fridays, I think it's all over, Chris. I think you know.
It's gone like that, yeah. I can't see it. I can't see it plateauing. I think it's only on the up. No, it's been great, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Remember the racing schedule for day 2. You can watch it on ITV, Racing TV, and on Race Day Live, which on the Cheltenham Racecourse website. I will see you tomorrow, 7 p.m. Same time. I'll be joined by Alice Plunkett. Thank you very much. Thank you, Katie. I'll say cheers. And here is a highlights package of the day's action to leave you with.
They're off. The 2021 Cheltenham Festival is underway. They come towards the last. Appreciate it. Up and over safely. Appreciate it. He's a wide margin winner. He must be 20 ahead. What an easy success. Paul Townend and Appreciate It have won. He's sauntering home. Shishkin, easy as he likes. He's hard on the bridle here with Nico de Boinville. Shishkin has won the Sporting Life Arkle in magnificent style. 5 times he's run in this race, Vintage Clouds. He's got 2 places. Today he's going to win. The 11-year-old grey, Vintage Clouds and Ryan Mann, you've won the Ultimate Handicap Chase. They're off. They're racing then for the Unibet Champion Hurdle. Honeysuckle and Rachel Blackmore clear from Sharjah, Epatong behind those. It's a beautiful straight, 11 victories for Honeysuckle. She is the winner of the Unibet Champion Hurdle.
Concertista driven all out, Black Tears pestering all the way to the line, closing down, it's tight. Black Tears on the near side of Concertista, heads up, heads down. Jeff Kidder has fought his way to the front from St. Sam. Oogri, Elam Valley is running on strongly late to their piece, but it's Jeff Kidder in front and not for catching. Jeff Kidder earns his spurs and wins the Boodle. Galvin by a length. Next destination is still snapping away, but Calvin will fend them off and win the Samvesti National Hunt Challenge Cup.